Well, a very good evening to you. Many thanks for making time to be with us this particular evening, the 21st of November 2023. Now, tonight we have various stories prepared for you. Top among them, the releasing of the results of the KCPE and KPSEA examinations, which are slated to be released this week, if at all President William Ruto will be back in the country in time, or rather on time, where will be, of course, the report by the Education Cabinet Secretary, that is Ezekiel Machogu, will be handed over to him before the results are made public. But in regards to today, the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations are on the tail end as the last cohort of students sit for their final papers. Now, today again, the push and pull regarding the 17 billion oil consignment between the government and the opposition continues. Just days after Raila Odinga blamed the government over massive irregularities in the tender signed with Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Today, EACC says they are keeping tabs with that particular story, even as Secretary General of the United Democratic Alliance, the ruling party, that is Cleophas Malala, says Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga do know more in regards to that particular scandal. And they say, rather he says, Anne Onjirin is a proxy of the two, that is Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. Now that, among many other stories which we've prepared for you tonight, including the raging floods across the country. Now, welcome to the program. I am Ian Keitani. Our sign language interpreter is Josephine Auko. First of all, let's have a look at what's making headlines.
Tonight on the bottom line,
we found empty coffers. I told the people of Kenya we have found a 9.6 trillion public debt.
DP Rigathi Gachagua cautions Kenyans to tighten their belts as government increases taxation to actualize the loan repayments. EACC says it is following closely the 17 billion shillings controversial oil scandal. And American pedophile released from committee in 2022, charged with defiling a 3-year-old girl in Athi River.
Now, welcome. Remember, you can watch this bulletin on our Facebook and YouTube pages at Lookuptv. Let's jump straight into it. And Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has defended the government over the high taxes levied on Kenyans. Gachagua, who attended the ISPAC annual seminar in Mombasa County, has on the same breath asked Kenyans to brace themselves for hard economic times as President William Ruto walks around the clock to correct what he terms as the mistakes of the previous administration. Gachagua is adamant that Kenyans have no option but to endure huge taxes to repay the ever-increasing public debt, in addition to funding various projects in the country. And as a reporter Henry Tende now files, the second-in-command has told the opposition to stop blaming President Ruto for the mistakes they contributed under the handshake arrangement.
After former President Uhuru Kenyatta took a jibe at President William Ruto's regime for continuously blaming his former government for problems bedeviling the current administration, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has come out guns blazing to defend President Ruto over the cost of living. Gachagua says the retired president must take blame for the sorry state of economy, accusing him of mismanaging the country in his 10 years tenure.
I told the people of Kenya that we found empty coffers. I told the people of Kenya we have found a 9.6 trillion public debt. I told the people of Kenya we have found pending bills of 900 billion. I told the people of Kenya we have found a demoralized public service. I told the people of Kenya we were almost facing an economic shutdown.
The deputy president says Uhuru's government was dogged with plundering of public resources and high level of corruption.
When we tell the story, because we are going to tell the story, people will be shocked. How $2 billion was taken from the central bank and put in a private bank that is responsible for the situation we are in, the weakening of the shilling. To be fair to everybody, how do people expect a government to fix a 10-year mess in 1 year? A mess of 10 years. Through state capture, conflict of interest, outright theft of public resources, irresponsible borrowing, misuse of public funds, misapplication of funds into useless legacy projects.
Gachagua is adamant President Ruto has a huge task on his shoulders of stabilizing the economy, as he now has to deal with the huge national debt left behind by the previous administration.
We found ourselves in a hole. And what you do if you're an intelligent person, when you find yourself in a hole, you first stop digging and figure out how to get out. That is exactly what we have done. Tightening revenue collection, sealing leakages, making sure that every cent is collected to pay public debt.
The opposition, led by former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, did not escape Gachagua's wrath. He says the outfit is playing politics with the current hard economic times, insisting Kenyans must pay huge taxes to repay the ballooning national debt.
Those debts must be paid, and they'll be paid by the people of Kenya, not by William Ruto or Rigathi Gachagua. It is the people of Kenya. Us being part of Kenya will pay through paying taxes.
The deputy president has now demanded that the opposition stops blaming President Ruto, as it was part and parcel of the previous administration through the handshake arrangement.
These people shouting left, right, and center, telling us to default so that we can be blacklisted as a banana republic. Are they telling us not to pay the Eurobond? Are they telling us not to pay what we owe the local banks? We want them to come and tell us. Don't just shout. Offer a solution.
Henry Tendanyula, Lookuptv.
Thank you very much, Henry Tendi, for that particular story. Moving forward, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has stated that it is following closely the 17 billion shillings controversial oil consignment, the oil deal which has elicited mixed reactions. So azimio leader Raila Odinga released a dossier accusing the government of corruption. Now, businesswoman Anjeri claims to own the 100,000 metric tons of diesel shipped from Turkey to the Mombasa port, while the government continues to insist that it is the rightful owner. Now, businesswoman Anjeri is expected to appear tomorrow before the National Assembly Committee on Energy regarding the matter.
Something is being covered by the media, blame game and whatever. We at the back are doing our background to get facts. Until you get facts, you cannot a case, solid case, to go and take either to the DPP or if it is a civil suit. So as at now, that issue is in the media. We are monitoring. We just don't go because something has been hyped by the media. So it's a good issue. The only thing that it tells you about the government and the opposition about the issue, it tells you one thing, that the country is becoming more accountable. People are put to task on what they do, whether it is opposition or the government. So as for now, we are monitoring the situation. We are yet to make a decision whether we shall go on full investigation or not.
Like EACC says, it is a game of accusations and counter-accusations, with the UDA-SG, like I said, Cleophas Malala now blaming Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta for using Anjeri as their proxy to get in that fuel, to gather fuel into the country. Now, moving forward, 2 people have lost their lives in Garissa following the heavy rains being experienced in the region. The 2 were elderly men drowned on Monday night while trying to use flooded roads.
They are rains that lasted about 6 hours, creating floods that are leaving behind a trail of destruction. Roads washed away, buildings flooded as the rains continue to wreak havoc in different parts of the country. In Garissa, 2 people have lost their lives while trying to navigate around the flooded roads.
Last night, it rained over the whole night, and unfortunately we lost 2 lives. One in Garissa's account, another one in Libo's account, due to floods. The 2 older men were drowned. Their bodies were recovered in the morning, and police have taken the necessary action.
The relentless downpour that started at around 7 in the evening went on past midnight, destroying homes, shops on the roadsides and collapsing pit latrines in the outskirts of Garissa town. and neighboring Madogo and Maroro in Tana River County. The public has been called upon to take care and avoid being in dangerous zones.
In Garissa County has been very devastating to us. We have had roads cut off outside Garissa sub-county. All the other 9 sub-counties in Garissa County have been cut off from the main roads. Our main road from Garissa to Dadaab is not possible. The road from Modifa to Modogashe is not possible. So we are appealing to donors and like-minded colleagues, both from the national and the county government, to assist us airlift food to those.
This comes as Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua asked the devolved units to enhance support of victims of the El Nino rains. Gachagua, speaking in Mombasa, at the Mombasa County government to assist persons affected by the floods in Kisauni.
Wapongeze gavana wa Wajir na Garissa na Mandera, wametoa zaidi ya shilingi milioni 50 ya kulisha wananchi katika kaunti hizo. Na tunataka pia hapa na Tana River, gavana wa Mombasa, gavana wa Tana River, pesa muko nayo kwa bank, tumepea nyinyi pesa kutoka National Treasury, muachilie pesa wananchi wapate chakula, wapate madawa, wapate blanketi. Na sisi katika National Treasury tumewachilia pesa kwa gavana zaidi ya shilingi bilioni 10 iko pale, na tunataka wananchi.
The rains have interfered with exams distribution, forcing government to use choppers. On Tuesday, Ahmed Nur Ismail, a teacher at Masalani Primary School, was hit on the head by the chopper tail rotor while taking off, killing him instantly. The pilot was dropping examination materials from Ijara Secondary School to the DCC container Masalani when the tragic incident happened.
The helicopter which was ferrying exams from Masalani, DCC's container, got involved in an accident where one deputy air teacher, Ahmed Nur Ismail, was hit on the head by the rear rotor of the helicopter. He died on the spot. And we want to appeal to our colleagues who are handling exams, members of the public. Sometimes we may become excited out of seeing the helicopter being nearer or any other chopper being nearer where we are. We should keep off because these machines are very dangerous and they are very powerful. I think this is an appeal I want to make to all the members of the public.
Brian Amwai, Lookuptv. Now.
Quite a sad story on a teacher losing his life while, of course, overseeing the national examinations. Point to note as well is that the number of those who've lost their lives due to floods in the country is now at 71. 71 people have lost their lives to the raging floods in the country. Now, moving forward to matters education, the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education candidates will get the results and placement details before Christmas celebrations. Speaking in Mombasa, Education Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang also noted that investigations are ongoing regarding the brutal murder of a police officer who was escorting examination material in Alego, Usonga.
As the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations come to an end, their counterparts who sat for their KCPE exams are set to get their results, as well as get to know the schools they will be placed in before the Christmas celebrations. According to Education PS Belio Kipsang, this is in a bid to give parents enough time to prepare for the admission of their children to various secondary schools.
Tulisema watoto wetu watajua mashule yenye wataenda kabla waende for Christmas. Siwezi sema mtihani itatoka kesho ama kesho kutwa, but I can say that we are on course preparing for our children to know how they have done. But the most important thing, because our schools are opening in January, is to make sure that they know the places they will have been placed in good time so that they can prepare, the parents can prepare in school fees and all the other things.
The seemingly sad PS paid his tribute to the officer who lost his life in Siaya County after being attacked by unknown people, noting that investigations are ongoing regarding the incident. Kipsang also indicated that those involved in the Wajir chopper crash yesterday are in stable condition and continue to receive treatment.
Yesterday, we had a challenge. We lost a colleague, a police officer in Siaya. Investigations are on. to know exactly the motive, what exactly happened. Also had an incident in Wajir yesterday where a chopper crash landed at the Wajir airport. There were some injuries, but the pilot and the co-pilot were rushed to Nairobi. They are still being attended to.
While lauding those who played a crucial role in ensuring a seamless administration of the national examinations, the PS noted that investigations are also ongoing, and teachers found culpable of aiding exam cheating will be held accountable.
For now, they are suspects until they go through the due process of proper investigations, because the Kenya National Examination Act spells out how to deal with all the cases that arise during examination time. So we shall go by the law. Anybody who will have gone outside that norm then will be dealt with in accordance with the law.
Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
Now, Terry Ray Krieger, a suspected American pedophile, is in court yet again on accusations of defiling a 3-year-old girl at Great Wall Gardens in Athi River this month. Now, trial magistrate Barbara Ojo denied him a bail, saying his past jail record makes him a flight risk.
Terry Ray Krieger, a man not new to the justice system, is facing 6 new charges of defiling a 3-year-old minor. Appearing at the Mavoko Law Courts, he was denied bail on grounds that he is a flight risk.
I direct that the State Council verify and ascertain from the relevant authorities the status of the accused person in relation to the crimes allegedly committed in the United States of America, and report back to the court with due expedition, but not later than 30 days from the date hereof. Accordingly, the court shall review this matter of bond at the appropriate time. Those are the orders of the court.
The case will be mentioned again on November 27th this year, expected to provide clarity on the disturbing allegations. Krieger also faces 6 additional charges before Assistant Chief Magistrate Mary Gitau in another courtroom.
You are charged with the offense of benefiting from child prostitution contrary to the law, the particulars being that Terry Ray, alias Bukateri, on diverse dates between 1st of October and 8th of November 2023 at Great Wall Gardens Estate, Phase 3 in Athi River South Sub-County within Machakos County. You permitted ABM, a child aged 3 years, to remain in your house so as to participate in indecent acts.
Krieger, a repeat offender, was sentenced to 50 years in December 2014 after confessing to recording explicit videos of children. His case was dismissed under unclear circumstances in June this year after serving 8 years in prison. The new charges now bring this unsettling case back into the spotlight as the public and legal authorities grapple with complexities surrounding Krieger's criminal history. Bridget Agola, Lookuptv.
Another story by Bridget Agola takes us to a fast break, but remember we have stories for you lined up ahead, including President William Ruto's address to the European Parliament and CS Mithika Linturi, who today launched 100 dryers in Uasin Gishu County. Don't go away.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection. added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We continue with the bulletin, and President William Ruto has emphasized the importance of the European Union Kenya and the European Union Africa cooperation, addressing a session of the European Union Parliament in Strasbourg, France, where he got a standing ovation. The president said cooperation can be in areas of green transition and industrialization. He also talked about the climate-related emergency as the world approaches the COP28 summit next week.
Europe is a significant investor and trade partner in Africa, a relationship that has been fruitful over the years. Our collaborative efforts have helped generate millions of jobs and enhance livelihoods across the continent. This partnership is not only a cornerstone of our past and present, but it is also crucial for our future. I extend a warm invitation to European companies, institutions, and organizations to explore the many opportunities our continent has to offer. Join us in a collaborative endeavor to unearth and develop solutions that leverage our respective strengths, drive innovation, and benefit not only Africa but also contribute to global progress. Because our story does not stop with our two continents, this is a global story. The demands of our time are great and full of uncertainty. Addressing this effectively hinges on a robust commitment to multilateralism and international cooperation. However, it is increasingly clear that the institutions and structures established in the 20th century are not fit for purpose anymore. We must ensure they are equipped to address contemporary challenges and pave the way for inclusion, equality, and prosperity. This calls for a fundamental redefinition of international cooperation. We must move beyond arrangements that perpetuate cycles of indebtedness and dependence. Our aim should be to bring about real, additional financing that does not merely escalate debt burdens or facilitate the extraction of profits. Cooperation that does not lock in developing countries in fossil fuel dependency, but allows them to advance alongside the rest of the world in the transition to sustainable energy. Genuine partnerships that prioritize people and their well-being on a livable planet.
Remember, the COP28 summit will be held, will start on the 30th of November, that is next week, to the 12th of December 2023. Now, moving forward, the government has launched 100 dryers which will help farmers to deal with post-harvest losses across the country as heavy rains continue. Now, speaking in Uasin Gishu County during the launch of the 100 dryers, Agricultural CS Mithika Linturi said the dryers are part of the government's initiative to ensure farmers don't incur losses as they have stabilized prices of maize across the country.
As heavy rains continue to pound the country and potentially destroying produce, the Ministry of Agriculture has imported 100 maize drying machines to help farmers curb the loss challenges witnessed during the post-produce affecting during drying.
Yes. These are very serious equipments. They are expensive equipments. Na tumesipeana na ziko hapo na zinatumia stima. Ni zinatumia hii gari ina hiyo kilugha ya kimainjinia inaitwa ndani na mama nini.
Speaking in Uasin Gishu during the launch, Agriculture CS Medical Inturi said the dryers are part of the initiative by the government to ensure farmers don't incur losses as maize prices have stabilized across the country.
Ya stima, ya ndizero, na ya tinga, so mambo mingi. So teknoloji imeenda juu sana. Kwa hivyo hapa mambo ya mafuta ama shinda hapana, haiko. So utaamua unataka kuweka kwa sima, unataka kuweka distro, kuendesha na tractor inji chanji yenyewe, mambo ni yako. Lakini we have 100 dryers.
Besides the new technology, which will not only use electricity but also diesel-powered and manually operated, Linturi knows that the distribution of fertilizers will not be left to few individuals who buy and sell to the farmers at higher price.
And the gaps that arose in the first phase, we are better prepared than before. So number one, I want to assure the farmers, kama tulinjaribu within 1 year na tumefanya hiyo kazi, this time round, the distribution of fertilizer will be better. We have adequate supply of fertilizer, and we only tell you, do your main business, which is kwenda kwa shamba, weka fertilizer, palilia, tuvune, tumekuletea dryer, masto iko. So
he also said the cost of drying maize will be at 70 shillings per bag. The price, he says, is lower than the previous price of 300 shillings per bag. Regan Lemeguran, Lookuptv.
Now to matters road safety, and the National Transport and Safety Authority plans to include private motor vehicles in its annual motor vehicle inspection exercise aimed at enhancing road safety. Now the plan, currently in its draft stages, is undergoing deliberations on how to best to proceed. Mevin Gichembe with the details.
And Kenya Roads Board should have also been here.
In efforts to enhance road safety in the country, NTSA is planning to include private motor vehicles in its inspection exercise. NTSA Director General George Njahu, who appeared before the Senate Transport Committee on Tuesday, said the authority currently operates 17 inspection centers. The plan, that is currently a draft, is undergoing deliberating on how the late strategies can be achieved. Njahu says the issue on fee remains unsettled and still under discussion, saying that the charges will be imposed on private vehicles inspection.
Refer you to the status adjuster. I refer to you on the standard development item number C on draft. It's still a draft process that is ongoing on the regulatory framework of motor vehicle inspection 2023. It's still in draft process. And part of the considerations, yes, indeed, that is being under discussion at the moment is the issue of private vehicles and inclusive of the status in regards to also bring on board private sector players. I want to consider whether we can get private sector players to be able to support in terms of growing our capacity. There is no fee that has been set forth. It's still under discussion at the moment. So it's still a draft phase at this point.
Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna raised concerns on the move, suggesting that it may be hastily conceived money-making scheme, arguing that there could be a profit-oriented approach will lead to increased costs for Kenyans.
The data does not support, and the most interesting thing, Chair, is that if you look at, say, losing control, 960, you have things like tire or wheel defect, responsible for 58 accidents. You have things like brake failure, which speak to the condition of the vehicles. The condition of the vehicle is a greater factor in accidents, according to the data, yet it is not classified as one of the fatal 6. This tells you, Chairman, that there's a problem. The NTSA is victimizing Kenyans on the pretext of fighting drink driving. And they have gone ahead, Mr. Chairman, to impose very hefty demands on manufacturers of alcohol, such as EABL, to run campaigns on why people should not drink and drive. You can see like the...
However, Njahu refuted allegations, stating that the decision to conduct inspections is firmly grounded on safety and public participation, adding that the authorities experienced delays in commercial vehicles inspections.
We've also done a lot of public one-on-one participation and roadshows with the sector at the grassroots level, so as to ensure, for example, in this year, we've been going now from state to state to now meet with the riders across the country.
Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Now, remember, as at September this year, 3,358 people had lost their lives to road carnages in 2023. Moving forward, Johanna Chacha was once a household name in the media industry, having worked for reputable media stations. He, however, was fired from his job in 2016 due to alcoholism. Today, Chacha tells the tale of his struggles with alcohol addiction months after rehabilitation.
At the ASK grounds in Nairobi, we met Johanna Chacha, one of the 79 men who have been pitching camp at the Behavior Correction Center, which was started by Pastor Dorcas Rigathi a few weeks ago.
Na mimi naitwa Johanna Chacha. Mimi nimesomea taaluma ya wanahabari. Nimewahi kufanya kazi na shirika la KTN, vile shirika la K24 na pia katika kituo cha Ukristo cha MBCI kama mhariri wa habari.
Life wasn't always like this. With nostalgia, he remembers his good old days as a famed journalist who rose to the senior reporter level.
Kwa kazi nilikuwa nimekosa kwenda kazini kwa siku 3 mfululizo. Kwa hivyo nilipotokea kwamba nimeingia kazini siku ya 4, nikashindwa kujibu maswali na nikashindwa kujitetea vilivyo kwa sababu ya nilikuwa nimefanya makosa. Hakuna mtu ambaye angeweza kunipata, wahariri wangenipata nyumbani, siku anapatikana. Kwa hivyo baada ya kuachishwa kazi nikaingia ndani ya pombe zaidi.
Chacha, knowing all too well he needed all help he could get, did not hesitate when he heard Pastor Dorcas was running a program to rehabilitate the youth from alcoholism and drug abuse in Daigoroti area of Nairobi, a program which had rehabilitated more than 500 youths.
Kusikia kwamba Mama Dorcas Gashagwa Bishop ana mradi ambao unaitwa Dignified Future wa kurekebisha tabia na mwishowe kuwatafutia kazi wale ambao wametekwa na masuala ya pombe na mihadarati, nilisikia vizuri sana na nikajiandikisha kama mmoja wa wale ambao watashiriki.
The journey to recovery has begun, and with major struggles now behind him, Chacha is now a volunteer under the Awake Christian Initiative Organization, an organization that provides counseling for high school students.
Kuteleza sio kuanguka. Iwapo utatambua kilichofanya kuteleza kwako na kurejea kwa mkondo sahihi. Sasa nimejitambua na najua ninapoelekea. Uraibu wa pombe nimeuasi.
Lookuptv.
Thank you very much, Catherine Saina. Now, in yet another groundbreaking archaeological discovery in Kenya's Great Rift Valley, over 800 picks, flicks, and hand axes have been discovered at the shores of Lake Bogoria in Baringo County, which suggests habitation and industrialization during the period of human evolution. Aludagal with the details.
Stone tools discovered in Baringo are believed to be between 350,000 to a million year old. They have not only cemented Baringo County's place on the global archaeological map, but also piqued the interest of researchers based at local and international institutions of higher learning.
I'm the coordinator for research at the Turkana Basin Institute. This site, close to Lake Bogoria, we are finding that technology of what they used to make using the stones. Sometimes we are finding points which they would have into sticks to make spears. We are finding blades made of stone that they would have used as knives.
The project, which is being jointly funded by the Henan Academy of Cultural Relics and Archaeological and Leo Young Institute of Archaeology, in the tune of 12 million Kenya shillings per year, which translates to $80,000, also supports training of Kenyan researchers.
Understanding our past in this context, as the way we are studying it, we understand the environment, the technological change, how it has developed over time. And this in itself is a rallying point for us to be able to understand how our early ancestors were able to adapt and develop resilience in terms of technology, in terms of subsistence, and in terms of the different environmental regime.
The head of Earth Sciences at the National Museums of Kenya, Dr. Emmanuel Ndiema, says the field survey is helping researchers collect rock samples, which will tell the archaeological culture represented, the exact age of the tools, and, if possible, look for analysis to determine the ancestors who made and used the tools.
As you might be aware, there is a big push to have a Baringo County Gazette inscribed as a world geosite, and it's going to be the second in Africa. And that in itself is something that we need to promote, and the archaeology like this promote the site in encouraging this young generation also to pick up the paleosciences as a career, and also be able to be custodians of our heritage or stewards for the next generation.
The excavation, which started 3 years ago, the paleontologist enthusiasts, offers a new look at how early hominids used the landscape and how they responded to environmental changes. Baringo County holds the right and privilege as the home to the fossil of the world's second oldest human, Ororhyntungenesis, dubbed Millennium Man, which dates back about 6.2 million years ago. While indicating that 30 new sites have been mapped out for excavations in the county, researchers state that the archaeological discoveries is a boost to the devolved unit, which is gearing to attain the top position on the global education, scientific and cultural map by hosting the country's first United Nations Education Science Culture Organization, UNESCO. Aludagel for Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Very well told story by Aluda Gal. Now, residents of Malindi in Kilifi County found dumping waste in undesignated areas will face arrest and prosecution. Speaking during the monthly cleanup exercise organized by Progress Welfare Association of Malindi, Municipal Manager Johnson Mombati noted that environmental conservation, especially during the El Nino rains, is a top priority for the county government.
As El Nino rains continue to wreak havoc in the country, blocked drainages in Kilifi County are posing a great health threat. Residents of Malindi have been warned over the dumping of waste in undesignated areas after the floods washed away the waste and blocked drainages and waterways.
This is illegal. It's not illegal.
Speaking during the monthly cleanup exercise organized by Progress Welfare Association of Malindi, Malindi Municipal Manager Johnson Mombati said that they had already bought litter bins which will be installed in specific areas within the town and trading areas.
Kama municipality, we have already procured our bins. Tushaleta zile bins zetu ambazo tutasidistribute katika our trading centers, core areas within the CBD. Ambazo tulikuwa tumewaahidi kwamba tutafanya hivyo na tushafanya.
He further added that they were currently waiting for the governor to come and officially launch the litter bins at the end of this month, with the implementation set to kick off.
We're just waiting for the launch by His Excellency the Governor very soon, probably by the end of this month, ili tuweze kuzidistribute within the CBD, ili tuhakikishe kwamba kila mpita njia na kila mwananchi ambaye atakuwa katika mji huu basi asitaabike ama asiweze kurusha takataka kivyo vyote vile, lakini atakuwa kuna mahali ambapo pameegeshwa kwa sababu ya kwenda kurusha takataka yote ambayo labda utakuwa uko nayo ama umetafuna chochote na unahisi ubwage takataka, basi kutakuwa kuna mahali special ambapo pametengwa ili wewe uende ukaweze kuangusha hizo takataka.
Kate Mikali, the chairperson of the Progress Welfare Association, called on to the residents to keep the environment clean, particularly during this period of El Nino rains. She further added that with the blocked drainage, residents risk contracting waterborne diseases.
Wale wako kwa community service orders wanakuja kufanya kazi Malindi. Hiyo ndio amesema. Kwa hivyo let's keep our finger on the pulse of the environment. Sababu najua with flooding hizi drainage zinafungika, maugonjwa inakuja, kolera inakuja, miti inaanza kuwa suffocated. So let's keep protect life, miti na binadamu tukifanya clean up.
Kadenyi Kibisu, Lookuptv.
Let's get sporty now. The National Olympic Committee of Kenya has unveiled a two-day athletes forum that aims to address challenges facing Kenyan athletes. The forum is part of Team Kenya's preparation ahead of the 2024 Olympics in Paris, France.
All of us, we want to make sure that in terms of the venues, we have to know accommodation and all the logistics around the games. We need to make sure that we are hands-on in everything that we are doing. so that we can be able maybe to make sure that we send a very strong team. And you have just heard that we are aiming maybe to send the highest, hopefully maybe 100 athletes who are going to participate and represent the country in 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Apart from that, again, is that we had been working closely with Miramas in southern of France for pre-training camp. And what we are trying to do now is that we want to harmonize, because we don't have time now, so that when we come back now, all the logistics we need maybe to put everything in place in terms of preparation to these games. I'm hoping that with all the stakeholders who want to support these games, this is the opportunity that we are rallying, we are calling for them to come forward to support this participation. Olympics is once in.
Remember, the NOC Executive Board will be visiting or traveling to Paris tonight just to go and assess the preparedness of the city in regards to the Olympics, which are scheduled for next year in the same city. Finally, the Kenya National Under-18 football team Junior Stars is currently undertaking intense training sessions ahead of the Sekafa Under-18 Champions Tournament. Now, Kenya will face Sudan in the opening match of the tournament that will kick off on the 25th of November to the 9th of December 2023 in Kisumu and Kakamega counties. Well, that Sekafa story brings us to the end of this particular bulletin. Many thanks for making time to be with us this particular evening, and to everybody who made this a success, led by Nancy Nelima, my producer, Paul, Josh, Alvin, Dennis, and Sean on our sound desk. Many thanks for making this happen, without forgetting David and our sign language interpreter, that is Josephine Ouko, and Nasha on our digital desk. Until tomorrow, do have yourself a wonderful evening, and like always, God bless.